Have you ever felt like the person you're meant to be, that you were born to be, is buried under layers of fear, expectations, and limitations just waiting to be free? So many people feel this way. And reinventing yourself isn't just a nice idea or even a choice, actually, as much as it is a soul calling that you can't afford to ignore. It's actually imperative for your life. So in today's video, I'll show you how to answer your soul's calling and step into the most magical version of yourself, your fully expressed, authentic soul self. You're going to learn why traditional reinventions, when we want to reinvent ourselves, actually normally fail, what's truly needed for your lasting transformation, and you're going to experience 2 guided energy activations with me to help you overcome fear and limitations. So with that said, let's dive in. So why do traditional reinventions fail? Well, when your soul is stirring and calling for change, more self-expression, more freedom, more alignment with your higher potential, then surface level 3D practical changes will often leave you feeling wanting. So let me share with you an example of what happens when you have an urge to reinvent yourself, where 3D practical changes are not the answer to what's really being called for. I know exactly what it feels like to feel stuck, to feel unfulfilled and confused about what to change, to bump yourself and your life into a better place. For me, at that time when I was going through this, it was like time was passing me by. I was watching life tick over and not fully living, but I didn't know what to change. And I felt really disconnected and empty. And so I tried a reinvention of myself, which ended up in an epic fail. So I want to share with you why that is, what was so epic about this fail, so that we can take what I took from it, which is a golden life lesson that sent me in a new direction. Now, maybe you've tried to change things for yourself, maybe you've tried to reinvent yourself in your life, and maybe you also feel like nothing's worked. I would love to hear from you, so leave a message in the comments and let me know so we can take this journey together. So for me, it was in 2007. I was 29 years old at the time, and I'm now nearly 47, so it was quite some time ago. And I had a great corporate job at that time. I had met the love of my life, and I had money, health, a great family, and was climbing the career ladder. But I had so many bad juju feelings. Maybe you can relate. At the time I was bored, but I had a busy life. I felt stuck, but I had many blessings and opportunities. I felt empty and purposeless, and something needed to change, but I didn't know what. And I needed answers, but I didn't really know what my questions were. It just felt like this sense that I needed something more. Now, side note, if you're also looking for deeper answers for your life, you can grab my Soul Answers free guide to download. There'll be a link in the description for you to get that. So these were some of the inner signs and symptoms that I was having. Maybe you can relate to some of them, showing me that something was off in my life at that time. Everything can look fine on the surface of your life, and it's okay if you don't feel fine underneath. And at that time, that certainly was the case for me. I did not feel fine. Now, to put this in context, while I'm a spiritual life coach now, back then I was not living consciously, I was not on a spiritual path, and I had not had a spiritual awakening. This was before that. So of course, what did I do to try to reinvent myself and to make changes to how I was feeling? I grasped at what I thought would make me feel better. Now, the women in the audience might relate to this. I decided I needed a makeover. So I got a new hairstyle, and I asked my sister to take me shopping so I could get a whole new wardrobe to reinvent myself. Fast forward, I got home with all these new clothes, different colors, different styles, a new reinvented me, and put all the clothes on, and I stood in the mirror and I looked in the mirror and everything felt wrong, wrong, wrong. And I actually sobbed looking in the mirror before I then took off all these clothes and took them back to where I bought them from, and ended up feeling eternally worse than before I had tried to make some changes. Now, what is the lesson in this? The big lesson is this: you cannot solve an inside void with an outside fix. Your true transformation begins within you. And I've seen this time and time and time again from, yes, my personal experience, but also from 13 years of working with clients who come to me looking for help, who have changed job after job after job, and they don't feel any different, or relationship after relationship after relationship, and they don't feel any different, only to realize that the external changes and reinventions of ourselves or reinventions of our life circumstance are not the sole answer to this unease, this stirring inside. Now, it's important to say, side note, that by all means we can change our outer world, and we do, and that's beautiful. But nothing will truly feel differently for you or change in a lasting positive way unless you create the inner shifts that your soul is actually calling you into. The number one change being a realignment internally, that you are able to live as your free-spirited, authentic self, who you were born to be. Now, who you were born to be was who you were before the world told you who to be, before you picked up limitations in your mindset, before you accumulated layers of fear, before that old energy that you're carrying around in the trauma, without the misaligned and dissonant ways of feeling and ways of living that often we drag with us from the past, and then we're confused about why we don't feel good in our life. So of course, my new hairstyle and clothes were not the solution for this existential evolution that was beckoning at this time. Now, what followed that epic fail was actually a recognition that my unease, and maybe your unease right now to want to reinvent yourself, was actually a spiritual awakening. And that led me into personal growth and spirituality, and then a life-changing shake-up to recognize my soul purpose and connection to this incredible universe we belong to. And I'm sharing this with you because as it is for me, so it is for you. We're all on the same human ride called life. We're experiencing it in slightly different ways, but we can take really golden wisdom from common things that we go through. When that whole awakening happened and I began to listen internally to what was happening and the alignment that I really needed, and I made some changes at a deeper level, all the old painful existential feelings disappeared, replaced with a new authentic confidence and a desire to live more freely as my authentic self. So I'm really curious for you, what is stirring inside of you, and what is this authentic self in you that wants to come forth? You know, I did find my way forward, and I have absolute certainty for you that you will too. And my way forward was into a pretty magical unfolding journey that did involve lots of outer change, career, lifestyle, location, and that change was all to bring in a deeper alignment to my authentic self. So magic and an unfolding journey, an adventure is ahead of you as well if you're ready to welcome that kind of change in. This inner and outer transformation is not just available to all of us, it's actually destined for all of us, including you, okay? And later in this video, I'm going to take you through 2 energy activations that are going to help you shift today at a deeper level to come into this new season of your life. So what is truly needed then for your lasting change? If reinvention isn't the answer, then what is? Well, the key is to recognize this. The urge to reinvent yourself is often coming from mental and emotional unease about where you're at, and that is often actually a spiritual awakening that's happening, whether you realize it or not. It is a stirring of your higher self, your soulful self, that's saying something deeper needs to change. And the beautiful thing about this is it's not to fix you. It's something beautiful wants to emerge in you and from you. The soul's calling within you is an invitation to step into a new season of your life. Now, it is about shedding the old. It's about shedding the mind conditioning that keeps you small, and the fears and maybe old roles and identities that have kept you tight and constricted, so that you can make space for your authentic self to come forth. Now, your most authentic soulful self can emerge, but this can only happen if you're really willing to say yes to your soul for the deeper shifts that are called for. So you can start by asking some reflective questions like, who am I beyond my fears? Who am I beyond my roles and my responsibilities in my life? Who am I at my core? Now, side note, if you want to dive even deeper on this and you want more support with this, you'll also find in the description with the video a link to my free masterclass called Design Your Soul Aligned Life. So next, we're going to talk about 3 steps to help you start aligning with your soul. The first one is you've got to let go of the old to welcome in the new, right? Just makes sense. To birth something is actually the death of something else. In this case, the life lesson for us is to welcome a new season is that you have to be willing to let go of the season you're in and to let in something new. So think about it. To be the true you, the untrue you has to go. To have a new season of your life, the past season has to end. And to welcome a new way of living, a new lifestyle, the old way has to go. To live as your powerful, soulful self, the small self of the past has to loosen up. Now, this often is what stops people because they want to avoid discomfort, they want to avoid perceived loss, and they want to avoid uncertainty. Now, here's what you need to understand about your mind and how it's going to get in the way of you emerging to a new season of you and your life. Your mind is actually not bad or naughty or wrong. Your mind loves you dearly and it has a job. Your subconscious mind has 2 jobs actually, and the 2 jobs are this: keep you safe and keep you alive. And how do you think it does that? It does that by being on high alert and scanning for danger. Anything that your subconscious mind perceives as uncertain, unfamiliar, and unknown is going to set off a trigger within you to want to avoid it. That's how our subconscious is running us a lot of the time. So what happens is people have a stirring inside for something more and for change, and then this fear signal kicks in and people stay stuck instead of evolving beyond it because their mind is controlling the flow versus their soul wanting to grow. So we're going to address this in our energy activations later in this video, so I've got you covered. We really need to learn how to lead our mind to feel safe to go into this new chapter, right? We take on a job of being a loving, nurturing leader of that part of our mind so it'll come along with us. Now, the second of the 3 ways to start aligning with your true self and allowing this free-spirited version of you to come out, remember it's not a reinvention of your small self, it's an emergence of your higher self. The second way is about claiming your soul identity. We all have an identity, and it's likely that you perceive in your awareness that your identity is just your small little self, your human being self, right? Your name and where you live and what you do and your past history and your current circumstance. In your awareness, if you feel and see that as your identity, what happens is we replicate our identity. That does not support the emergence of a new season of your life. So instead, it's time now to start seeing yourself in new light, to see yourself as divine, not as a small, separate, little alone self with issues and faults and challenges, but instead to see yourself as a higher self, or what I call the soul self. And your soul self is one with and comes from what we might call source, the universe, God, divinity, creator, by whatever name you call it, we honor all of those names. And not only are you a soul that has come forth from that loving oneness, but you came here into this world, on this life journey, on this planet, at this time, because you have a soul purpose for being here. And your life, what looks like your 3D life, is actually a soul journey that you're on, whether you realize it or not. And right now inside that journey, there's a new season wants to emerge. And when you understand this and you begin to see yourself this way, and you begin to claim that this is your true identity, things begin to shift energetically for you. So this is about relating to yourself in a whole new way. This is about try it on for size, play with it, be open and willing and curious to learn about who this soulful self is that you really are at your core that wants to emerge. And you can be taking time to listen and be attentive to the guidance that your higher self, or what I call your soul self, is giving you from within. We call that intuition. You can also pay attention to divine guidance, not just from within you, but actually from life around you. Because life around you is the universe, is source, God, created divinity, embodied everywhere, all the time, all around you. And you get guided on your journey as you emerge, as your soul awakens, and calling you into more of who you are and your purpose. How does it do that? It does that through signs, symbology, and synchronicities. So if this idea of identifying as your soulful self, if it's new to you, and it's sort of like, well, this is curious but unfamiliar, I'm going to quickly share a message with you based on around 28 years of deep personal exploration on this journey and 13 years of doing this work professionally with people as a transformation and spiritual life coach. All I want you to do is hear the words and let your heart and your body tell you what resonates and what's true. I'm not here to give you your truth. I'm just here to propose something to you to awaken within your own cellular memory who you really are. So here we go. You are a holy child of God's source, created divinity universe. And you are here in this world for a reason. And yes, you do have a purpose. Indeed, you have a unique purpose. You have soul lessons that your spirit, your soul, chose to come here to learn in this lifetime. You also have a purposeful contribution, what people call life purpose. You have a specific purposeful contribution to make here during your lifetime. You are pure light, pure divine energy that springs forth from source God, created divinity, intelligent energy, and you are from beyond this time and this place. This is not your original home. You are from beyond 3D reality, and your soul existed before you were born, and it will exist long after this lifetime. Additionally, your life has divine timing and divine order. And I want to assure you, even though you might not really believe this right now, you are right on track and you are right on time. And if you are noticing this urge for reinvention, which most often is actually the soulful self inside of you stirring and calling to expand and explore and express, then you are absolutely in an exciting phase of your journey. And remember, right on track, right on time. I also want to assure you that what you long for and what you yearn for in your heart is there for a reason. It's not random. It's in you because it's for you. And that yearning and longing is another way that you are being guided into what is for your highest good. Also, beautifully to remember is that you have an unseen team of support, loving you and holding you and guiding you as you walk your life journey here. So even when it looks like you're not supported or it looks like you are alone, you are never alone and you are never unsupported. So this is an opportunity to let yourself connect with and align with your soulful self and where you really come from. And I'll tell you from all my experience, this is the most powerful pathway to you having a life that is lit up with greater fulfillment and greater magic when you are in alignment with your true self. Now, with all of that spiritual talk, let's just ground that down, because your life is actually also about living in this 3D world where you chose to come. Practically living your life effectively and putting your feet on the ground while also expressing the soulful higher dimension of who you are and letting it come into your life as your unique expression and your purpose. Now, how do you do that? Like, what does that practically look like? Well, it looks like, who do you choose to be in the world and how are you showing up in the world? As a small self, constricted, fearful and limited, or as fully free and fully authentic and fully expressed with all your light. Now, how does that affect your life? Well, you show up in your relationships that way. You show up in your family, your vocation, your career, your business, your projects, your hobbies. Everywhere you go, you show up that way. Your outer life is going to transform itself. You will not have to reinvent your life. When you come into alignment with your authentic self, your life will take care of itself and it will blossom in energetic reaction to who you are being in the world. Okay, so we've covered letting go of the old to welcome in the new, and we've talked about claiming your soul identity. So here is the third way to support the emergence of this true you, this higher you, so you can be free and fulfilled in the world. And it's this: you gotta release your inner blocks. If you want to align with your higher self, your soulful self, to be free-spirited and fully expressed, like living by your intuition and dancing your way through life, feeling lit up, right? Feeling magical, feeling on purpose, following your passions, then it requires something. It requires that we heal and align 4 core parts of your small self to bring them into alignment with your greater self, your higher self that wants to emerge. Okay? The soul self that you are is actually whole, complete, and divine. There's nothing that needs to be changed there. But down here in our human being self, on our life journey, in our personality with our ego and our mind and our past and our history, we've got some stuff, some baggage down here in human nature that needs to be cleaned up. So when you clear it out of the way, and what's left is the beauty of who you really are without all of that gunk covering you up. Okay, so let's go through what these 4 things are. The first thing we need to clean up is your mind, because your mind gets conditioned through your life to date, and your mind gets carried into unloving, unsoulful beliefs. This happens to everyone, so it's not a problem. It's just part of your soul journey, okay? The second thing we need to clean up are your emotions or your emotional state, okay? We have emotions, and they are energy inside our body. And if we don't process our emotions, then over our lifetime, emotional energy has nowhere to go, and it gets stored inside our systems. It gets stored in our physical body and in our chakra systems. And that stored energy will often distort and cause us all sorts of problems. And that is often why we get caught living in the past, because as far as our emotional system is concerned, we are still in the past because we're carrying all those feelings from the past with us. The third thing that we need to align after mind and emotions is our body, specifically your nervous system. We need to bring our nervous system and our physiology back to balance so that our energy, we have energy circuitry in our system that supports, it's the life force, by the way, it's the life force, the chi energy, that supports your physical body to be healthy and well, that supports you to be freely expressed, that supports your sense of happiness and joy. So we need to be able to support that nervous system. If we don't do that, we are what I call dysregulated. And when you're dysregulated, you're not coherent and you're out of alignment with your soulful self. We need to get that energy moving and flowing through your body so that your body can be a vessel for just, yes, the life force energy to flow, but also for your soul to fully express through you. Now, the fourth thing that we need to clean up and bring into alignment is your behavior. We want to start recognizing that what our small self chooses to do may not be what our most free and confident soulful self would choose to say, be, and do. So we can start asking ourselves in any given situation, what would my soulful self say right now? What would my soulful self choose to do right now? And it helps us to bring our behavior into a new alignment. So, when we release these blocks, mind, emotions, body, and behavior, what's happening? Well, what's happening is you're creating openness and spaciousness inside of you. And inside that spaciousness, something beautiful happens. Your always present intuition starts to be noticed. It's always there, but we block it. And so your intuition is free to move and your awareness increases. You're able to sense divine guidance and feel it coming from within you and see it coming from around you. And when you're in that presence and connected with your intuition and the divine guidance around you, instead of behaving out of mind noise and fear and old feelings and old habits, instead of that, you are centered, you are intuitive, and you are living from the heart center of who you really are. When we're in that space, we're no longer owned by these aspects of our humanity, right? We love our mind, emotions, and our body, but we need to guide them into a new state if we want to be free. So when we make these shifts to align at these 4 levels, then our energy has shifted. Our energy's opened up. And I want you to think about this. Everything is energy. Life is energy. Other people are energy. And energy responds to energy. Everything out there that you want to change is energetic, and so are you. So the change actually begins with you, because life is just going to respond to your energy. Your life is just going to mirror back to you the energy that you're bringing forth. So your life will look completely different if you show up as your small self in your old limiting beliefs and difficult emotions and bad habits and patterns. Life will look a certain way, and it will look completely different if you come in from your soulful identity, having cleared out all of this stuff, open and spacious. So this is how you create a new experience of your life. This is how you create, maybe you want to call it a reinvented life still, or a reimagined life. This is how you do it. You create the change in you, and life out there shifts as an energetic response to the emergence of the true you. So if you're up for this and you want to start experiencing a shift with me right now, let's do these 2 energy activations that I promised to you. This is going to help you to shift your energy starting right now to open up this new season of your life, right? For overcoming mind noise, getting those energy blocks inside of you starting to shift, starting to dissolve, so that you can begin this new alignment process. So the first one we're going to do is called tapping, okay? Officially called Emotional Freedom Techniques, EFT. It is a process where we are tapping on meridian points on your body to create an energetic shift within you. So if you're ready, let's start releasing some of these blocks so that you can come into alignment with your soulful self. Now, even if you've never done tapping before, that's no problem at all. You can just follow along with me. Now, this method is incredible. I've used it in my own coaching practice for well over a decade with clients one-on-one and in my group programs. This method helps you to calm any fight, flight, fear, stress response that's going on in your system. It helps you to discharge that kind of energy, anxiety, fear, tension, doubt. It creates inner calm. It creates coherence, and it creates energetic balance. When that happens, remember, there's more space for your soulful self. So let's get started. I want you to just tap on the side of your hand here on what's called the karate chop point, and you're just going to repeat after me. Even though I've been feeling stuck and like I need to reinvent myself, I relax now. All is well. And even though I've been feeling stuck and like I need to reinvent myself, there's nothing I need to figure out right now. I can relax and let go. And even though I've been feeling stuck, I can relax right now and make space for my true self. Okay, so inside of the eye of the eyebrow point, just repeat after me. Feeling nervous about what all this means. And then tapping on the outside of the eye, my mind is trying to figure out what's going on. And under the eye, on the bone under the eye, I'm afraid of change, but I really want change. And then under the nose, I'm willing to open up a little bit. On the chin, it's safe for me to relax and open up. And then collarbone point, which is just here on your chest, just below your collarbone. I'm excited to discover my free, spirited self. Under the arm, I'm open and curious about what my soul wants. Top of the head. I don't have to risk anything. Inside of the eye. I can relax and be guided. Outside of the eye. I choose now to release any blockages within me. Under the eye. Anything in my system that isn't serving me, I can relax and release that now. Under the nose, it's safe to let go and let life in. On the chin, I don't have to figure everything out. And then collarbone point, I can let go and just be curious. Under the arm, I'm right on track and I'm right on time. Top of the head, releasing any fear. I choose to relax and be open. And then just relax your hand, and you might want to just take a moment and close your eyes and sense inside your body. Just the tapping on the meridian points creates a shift in the energy. It starts to move the energy. It starts to discharge any intensity of tension, fear, anxiety. Because of course, as your soul is stirring and something wants to change, it's very natural to feel hesitation. It's very natural to feel fear, to feel some apprehension. And so we're just supporting our system to feel safe and calm so we can open up. So the second guided energy activation that we're going to do today is to connect you more with the energy and the wisdom of your authentic soul self, okay? The free-spirited you that wants to lead the way forward. So what I want you to do right now is get in a comfortable position. I want you to settle in and I want you to close your eyes. And I'm going to take you through a guided visualization meditation process. Okay? With your feet on the ground, I want you to imagine that out the bottoms of your feet, you have roots that are going deep down into the earth. Okay? Strong roots through the bottom of your feet. And those roots connect in with Mother Earth, with grounded energy, with wisdom, and that is your foundation and that is your security. And then as you imagine that, those roots growing down through your feet into the earth, at the same time, I want you to imagine that you have a channel of light that shoots out the top of your crown chakra, the top of your head, and connects up to the universe, to the love and the guidance and the divine intelligence that's running all of creation and is supporting you at the very same time. Then what I want you to do is I want you to bring both of your hands and place them on top of your heart center. And we are going to do a little breathing exercise, okay? So you're just going to follow along with me, breathing gently and naturally to the rhythm of your body, in and out of your nose. I want you to breathe in from above, drawing divine light down from above through your crown chakra and deep into your belly. And as you breathe out, breathe that through your feet, down through the roots and deep down into the earth. And as you breathe in from below, pulling grounded earth energy up into your belly. And then as you breathe out up through the crown of your head, connecting up to divine wisdom. And one more time, breathe in from above, bringing divine light energy all the way down into your belly. And breathe out, push that breath down into the earth, through your feet, through those roots, deep into Mother Earth. And as you breathe in, pull up that grounding, wise earth energy up into your belly. And relax. Keeping your eyes closed, keeping your hands on your heart center and breathing gently and naturally to the rhythm of your body. Now I want you to focus your awareness on your heart, that center of your chest and the space all around your heart. And I want you to imagine that your heart is actually your lungs, and you're going to breathe with your heart. You're going to breathe in with your heart and out with your heart. We're going to do that a few times, so just follow along with me. Inhale with your heart, and your heart expands with light. And as you breathe out, relax, and light fills all the cells of your body. And on your inhale with your heart, your body is filled with light. And as you breathe out, just relax and know that your soul memory is awakening inside the cells of your body. And as you breathe in, your heart fills with light. And as you breathe out, you are letting divine wisdom awaken within you. Now, keeping your eyes closed, you've got your hands on your heart. I want you to tap on your heart center 3, 4, 5, 6 times as if you are knocking on the door of your own soul. And then, silently inside your mind, just follow along with the statements that I'm going to say. You can repeat them with me, or you can simply listen and soak them up. To my soul and source, I choose now to be shown by you the true me that is ready to emerge. I want to see. I want to see in the light of truth. I want to see the free-spirited, the fully expressed, the fulfilled, magical, true me. Please show me, please tell me, please guide me. What does that authentic, free-spirited me look like, feel like, sound like? What does that version of me want to do in the world? How does that version of me feel? And what does that version of me want me to know right now? And now we're going to sit in silence for 20 or 30 seconds. Just notice, what's the sensations within? Feel, observe. Whatever arises is just perfect. Now, having noticed anything that might have arisen, keep your eyes closed. And I want you now in your mind's eye to notice that right in front of you, there is a golden ball of light floating, and it's spinning. And this is the living, loving light of your own soul. It's the energy of your soulful self. And this orb of light that's in front of you is holding the divine intelligence of the universe and the messages for you uniquely. Your soul's purpose for being here. It holds your soul's gifts, talents, wisdom, knowing, courage, and confidence, all inside of this ball of spinning light. Now you can make a choice as you sit here with your eyes closed. You can choose, if you want to integrate all of that into your being now. So that no longer do you just have to do life alone as the human you, with your name and your personality and your little body and your 24 hours in a day. but instead you can integrate the energy of something that's much bigger, deeper, stronger, unwavering, and pure, and bring it into your energy field, into your system, so that that is what you live from as your new foundation. So inside your mind's eye now, you can just ask it to merge into you, call it into you, and let it float into your heart center. Just breathe it in. And then just follow along with the words that you're hearing. I allow this soulful, free-spirited energy to fully integrate into every cell of my being. I accept this gift today. I give thanks for this gift today. I breathe it into my being, and it is done. I breathe it through my being, and it is done. I breathe it out to expand it all around me, and it is done. And with your eyes closed, just when you're ready, imagine your energy field being sealed up in light, expanded an orb of light all around you, sealed up, protected, safe, supported. And then when you're ready, you can gently open your eyes and come back into this moment with me. Now, you might want to pause the video and you might want to take a moment to write down anything that you noticed, anything you sensed, felt, or heard. Take that time to make any notes that you want to in your journal. And if you didn't notice anything in particular, what you want to know is that there's absolutely an energy shift happening in alchemy. And sometimes when you least expect it, maybe later on today when you're taking a walk, maybe when you wake up in the morning, maybe when you're washing your hair in the shower, insights can arise, and it seems like they're coming out of nowhere, but they are coming in response to you awakening it and welcoming it in. And when we do things like energy shifting and we're doing meditation, we're creating space. And it doesn't mean the space immediately gets filled with answers, but it means that you're creating awareness on your radar so that when it's right and good for it to come in perfect timing, it will. So, now that we've done these energy activations, let's take a moment to remember, yes, you are more than a human being. You are a spiritual being, and you are more than your past. You are more than the things that happen to you. You are more than the things other people have told you that you are. You are more than the noise in your own mind. And you are here on a journey through life with a purpose and a future that can be a full expression of your most magical, sparkly, free, authentic self. It is an exciting time to be in your shoes, not simply a reinvention, no, but a remembrance of who you really are and who you came here to be. So as we wrap this up, I'd love to hear from you. What was your biggest takeaway from today? You can drop me a comment below, and maybe consider what's one small step you could take today to honor your soul's calling you into more. And if you're ready to dive deeper into aligning with your soul and living your purpose, you can join my Soul Odyssey mentorship program or work with me one-on-one. You'll find links in the description. Thank you so much for being here. I've loved sharing this with you, and I'll see you in the next video.